Man, oh man, that game got weird. Anyways, the Bruins won 28-16 as they take down Colorado in a fairly dominant performance, but some shaky offensive plays, yet the Bruins come away with a dominant defensive performance and put this one away. UCLA, another dub. Let's get to it on the most packed crowd in the Chip Kelly era. Let's rock and roll on Locked On UCLA.
You are Locked On UCLA, your daily podcast on the UCLA Bruins. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome, everybody, to this edition of Locked On UCLA Podcast, Reaction Edition. The Bruins do not cover, more on that later, but they win the game, dominate 28-16, despite a game where they lost the turnover battle 4-0. They win the game 28-16. And I think we now know why Chip Kelly said that there's three quarterbacks. Because there wasn't a true starting quarterback. Everybody's made mistakes, made it look horrible. But in the end, take away the negatives, a lot of great things defensively, a lot of good things between the likes of a Chip Kelly-led offense, mixing and matching between running the football, throwing the football, everything in between. And then, hey, 7 sacks. My goodness, 10 tackles for loss. The Bruins ate up this Colorado offensive line, which means, hey, we've got to hit those keys to the games. You should subscribe, get that love, and everything in between. Let's take a look at the keys to the game one more time. Prior to this game, this is what I said. 1, UCLA's got to play turnover-free football. Yeah, that didn't happen. There was a warning that Colorado could absolutely sit here and make plays defensively, which they absolutely did, because if they didn't, UCLA maybe could have done a lot more offensively. But 4 costly turnovers, 1 pick by each of Colin Schlee, Ethan Garbers, 2 Carson Steele fumbles, very unusual there, which saw TJ Harden have a good running game tonight. And then turnover-free football, I don't know many games you could turn it over 4 times, lose it that much. Great plays by Travis Hunter, by the way, and still win this game in convincing fashion. 2, win the big plays. Well, when you have the play of the game, Logan Loya with a spectacular catch, 90% of his body out of bounds, only like 2% of his body inbounds, toe tapping on the sideline, and then just making big plays. I know they missed nearly blocking a field goal, but in the end, the big plays came. They limited those. There weren't many big Colorado plays, especially offensively, which sparks them. And even though Colorado made all those big plays defensively, UCLA won the big plays. They made the big plays coming out of the second half, right? Boom, 2 plays, touchdown, bam, Loya, then Matsuval. In the blink of an eye, and UCLA is like, all right, let's get to business. We're not messing around with this anymore. Because after that immediate touchdown they scored at the beginning of the third and the beginning of the fourth quarter, this was no joke in Colorado. As much as they competed, they put their fight in this one. The Bruins just ate up an offensive line that could not predict Shedeur Sanders. That just is not something that was able to withstand the UCLA pressure that they brought all night long. So 1, win the big plays. I think UCLA made the play of the night. Logan Loya, some ridiculous catches there, and the Bruins defense pretty fantastic. Despite not forcing a turnover for the first time all season, it was the 7 sacks, the 10 tackles for loss that ate up the Colorado Buffaloes. And the number 3, QB pressure, which turns into big plays, 7 sacks, Latu with 2. Gabriel and Grayson, each with a sack and a half, at line so identical, you'd think they're identical twins. Wait a minute. Think about that. Yeah, Carl Jones Jr., a sack and a tackle for loss. You had Smith the third with 2 tackles for loss. Everybody was making plays defensively. It was a great job by the UCLA defense because it was a punt fest. Punts left and right and everywhere in between. This coming into the game was things that the way these 2 teams could have been successful. Colorado, their defense isn't the best, but they thrive on turnovers. Travis Hunter making great plays, reading quarterback's eyes and making fantastic plays. And then a couple of fumbles, popping it up from Carson Steele and everything in between. But then UCLA thrives so much on the pass rush, right? Their front 7, just giving Sanders, which we've seen. And the fact that UCLA's D-line is much better than what Colorado's seen all year long, trying to protect their star quarterback, we knew it could be a recipe for disaster. And in the end, it absolutely was. The Bruins ran for more than almost, 200 yards. And the difference between the running game even though UCLA couldn't fully establish an effective passing game that didn't come without a couple of mistakes, we now know why there was a balance between, hey, what's going to happen here? What's not going to happen here? The Bruins got the job done. And then, hey, as I said, what was the score prediction? I said 31-17, 28-16, pretty close. The things I don't like, turnovers, but UCLA got the win. The defense was spectacular. And until the end, Sanders was held without a passing touchdown until a late, backdoor cover, if you will, as you heard the broadcast joking about it. And what Ben Bolch talked about was the most attended game of the Chip Kelly era, and the Bruins came out, got the lights pumping in the second half with big touchdown plays by Schlee, by Matavao. Loya had a big day catching the football. And surprisingly, against the pass defense, a defense that's supposed to be one of the worst in the country, J. Michael Sturtevant was actually, one reception. You would think in a game when you have Sturtevant who only had one reception, right? You think of a game when that happens, then you'd wonder what happened. Well, the Bruins fed everybody else with their multiple quarterback options. And most importantly, that's why you can run the football. 218 yards to 38 rushing yards for Colorado. Almost 270 passing yards. A lot was the Logan Loya breakout performance, making spectacular catches like the toe drag on the side. Respect to Colorado. They came, they fought, they did everything in their might to get this game, and they just couldn't. Because one, the Bruins are looking pretty sweet in those little throwback uniforms, right? The dedication of the Terry Donahue statue, everything in the Rose Bowl, had the crowd pumping and going. And I know it was scary early when you're like, Colorado's driving down the field. Bruins didn't break. It happened again. They didn't break. They bent a little bit, and then they bent no more practically for the rest of the night until they eventually wore down Colorado and had this game won by the time Colorado scored a touchdown and failed an onside kick. That is what UCLA has been able to do this year. And I'm not sure what Garbers or Schlee could have done in the Utah game. Maybe it could have been very different, but it's clear that UCLA has three separate quarterbacks with different skills, different mindsets, different abilities. And Chip Kelly possibly could have been messing with us. And also true, he was probably telling the truth in his quarterback situation. They're all good, but nobody stands out because they all make mistakes early, or they can do different things. Now is the difference between true freshman mistakes that turn costly interceptions into points right away versus what happened tonight. I think that's what Chip Kelly's been trying to avoid these last couple of weeks with the Stanford win, with now the Colorado win, mixing and matching the quarterbacks with the running option in Schlee, and then Garbers, the veteran option, reading the offense and seeing things, having been a long-time quarterback in the Kelly system, even though he hasn't played as much, and try and get more time to breathe on the sideline, and we can see how things play out. What does this mean going forward? A lot of entertainment, a lot of entertainment for UCLA. I know they're still mathematically in the Pac-12 race. They need lots of crazy things to happen, but first things first, the Bruins got the job done and continue to roll on through, because UCLA, they're 6-2, 3-2 in conference. Colorado now 4-4, 1-4 overall in Pac-12 play. And the Bruins keep on marching forward with games that look a little bit more winnable with the way the defense has been playing as of late. The Arizonas and Arizona States of the world, the USC game, my goodness, that will be something. And then you've got the Cal game, which will be a unique game. I don't really know what Cal team is going to show up for that one. A lot of fun, a lot of entertainment. We'll see how it goes between the Bruins, who just grinded it out, and that's what this team does. Make it boring, and you win the game. Make the football game semi-boring. It would get weird, certainly got weird, was pretty boring from Colorado's perspective, and the Bruins won not easily, but they had a firm control in this one. That is how UCLA was going to win this game, and that's how they ended up doing it. So let's tell you what this episode is brought to you by. There's a lot of unrest in the world today, and it's important to be prepared because certain natural disasters, certain events can lead to things where supply chain shortages or the inability to get medications in a timely manner is something that could just happen, which is why the Jace case is a personalized emergency medication kit containing 5 essential antibiotics that can treat the most common and deadly bacterial infections. So you can customize your case, add additional life-saving medications, and based on your unique needs. Most importantly, you can customize it to your family's unique needs. You can get a gift card, buy it from your family for your loved one so that they can get a Jace case of their own. Go to jacemedical.com, enter the code Locked On, get a $20 discount on your order. Again, that's Locked On at JASE Medical, jacemedical.com. Well, I mean, y'all should have put some money on this one. If you were going with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, a $5 bet would have guaranteed you, if you're a new customer, $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. You might have lost some money because the Bruins didn't cover. I told you they weren't going to cover. My prediction in this game was 31-17. It would get funky. The Bruins would keep it boring. Colorado would keep it close. All those things happened, and Colorado, with a late touchdown, a backdoor cover. Yes, the Bruins had it -15, -17 in early spreads. If you may have gotten a -13.5, none of those worked. Alternate spread, the line dropping, the original spread, all failed. The Bruins didn't cover because of that late touchdown pass. My, oh my. But if you're a new customer, you still would have got some bonus bet money. So that's why you got to go to FanDuel.com/lockedon and kick off the NFL season with FanDuel, an official partner of the NFL. And with all that, you need passion, drive, and patience. What brings home the winning trophy is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors is everything that you need to maintain your vehicle, level it up to peak performance, superchargers, exhaust kits, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has got you covered. Over 120 million parts for your #1 ride or die. You'll find exactly what you're looking for. eBay Guaranteed Fit. Your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. All you're looking to do is, if you need the prices you want, it's easy to turn your car into the MVP and bring home that win. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit, only available to U.S. customers. That's going to do it for us here on Locked On UCLA. Zach Anderson-Yoxsimer saying, let's go, let's rock and roll. And anything, everything in between. We're going to have a full grade, full reaction, full in-depth analysis once we look back at the tape, see different things we liked, didn't like after the emotions have worn down. Hey, maybe petition to keep those uniforms for the rest of all time, for eternity, because those uniforms were sweet, even though the Bruins uniforms are already pretty good for football. Let's keep those bad boys because those were sweet. Don't make it a throwback. Make it the all-time uniforms because those were solid. In the meantime, got to go celebrate because not just the win. Congratulations to my grandfather, my papa. Good luck. Thank you for everything that you do and the support. Congratulations to you. For UCLA fans, it's time to 8-clap, baby. Get your hands up. 8-clap time. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. UCLA. UCLA fight, fight, fight. This has been Locked On UCLA. The Bruins take down the Buffs 28-16. We got more coming through. Go Bruins. Let's rock and roll.